All right, welcome back. Today, we are diving deep into the Cardano ecosystem, and honestly, it looks like it's firing on all cylinders. We're going to cover everything from major gaming updates and some serious DeFi power plays to a really fascinating debate on growth and even a brand new bridge to the real world. Okay, let's jump right in. So here's the plan. We're going to cover the whole spectrum of what's happening. We'll kick things off inside the virtual world of Cornucopias. Then we'll shift gears to the economic engine, where some DeFi giants are joining forces. After that, we'll get into a super important debate about what sustainable growth really looks like before we bring it all home and connect it back to the real world and your wallet. First up, let's gear up and head into the metaverse. The huge multiplayer online game Cornucopias just dropped a major update, and believe me, it is absolutely packed with new stuff. So this update is called Ready to Rise, and it's really all about making the game experience smoother and just more intuitive. If you've got a beefy PC, you're going to notice a real performance kick with the new Nvidia AI support. But the best part, I think, is for everybody. They've added new indicators that make it way easier to spot valuable items. That means less frustrating searching and more time in the action. But okay, let's get to the good stuff, the new loot. Players can now grab a classic SK-47 battle rifle, some new Comet M42 shoes, and those come in all rarities, and, probably the most exciting part, 2 brand new jetpacks from Core Dynamics. Now what's really cool here is the choice you get as a player. The Alien X jetpack, it's all sleek and mysterious, and it recharges super fast, which is perfect for these quick, short bursts. But then you have the Glide Sport, which actually has wings, and it's all about covering long distances. Yeah, it's got a slow climb, but man, it'll take you far. So it really comes down to matching the gear to your own personal playstyle. All right, let's pivot from the economy inside the virtual world to the engine that's powering the entire on-chain ecosystem, DeFi. Something huge just happened that points to a whole new level of maturity and cooperation in the space. That's right, Minswap and Liqwid Finance. We're talking Cardano's #1 decentralized exchange and its top lending protocol are officially teaming up. You know, think of it like the stock exchange and the biggest bank in the country deciding to merge their tech. This kind of partnership could lead to some incredibly powerful and seamless financial products, and it's a huge signal that Cardano's DeFi space is growing up, moving from just competition to real, deep collaboration. So while the top protocols are working together, there's a different kind of challenge brewing down at the community level. There's a proposal for a 5 million ADA loan to the SNEK token, and it's kicked off this really critical debate. What kind of growth does the community actually want to fund? And what does the word sustainable even mean in this context? The analyst Cardano Yoda really framed the core of the issue perfectly. I mean, we all get excited when a token gets listed on a big centralized exchange, a CX, right? But does that excitement actually turn into real, lasting on-chain activity? Or is it just a short-term sugar rush? To figure that out, let's just look at 2 of the biggest meme coins over on Ethereum. You've got Shiba Inu with 1.5 million holders, but only about 6,000 on-chain transactions a day. Pepe? Pretty much the same story. This tells you that despite their massive popularity, almost all the trading, all the action is happening on centralized exchanges, not on the actual blockchain itself. So what happened with SNEK on Cardano? Well, this chart just illustrates the pattern perfectly. When SNEK got listed on Kraken, the on-chain volume more than doubled, jumping from 1.2 million ADA all the way to 2.8 million. But then, look what happened right after. It just dropped straight back down to 1.3 million. A temporary spike. And it wasn't just the trading volume, it was the number of actual people using it on-chain. The number of interacting accounts saw the exact same spike and fall pattern. It jumped from 1,800 to 3,000 and then settled right back down around 1,900. The effect just didn't last. So the crucial takeaway, as Cardano Yoda concludes, is pretty clear. All that hype and activity from getting listed on a big exchange didn't translate into any kind of sustained long-term growth in on-chain activity for SNEK. But, and this is the really fascinating twist, despite all of that, SNEK is currently seeing around 11,000 on-chain transactions every single day. Now, that's way more than giants like Shiba Inu or Pepe see over on Ethereum, and it's a real testament to the actual on-chain culture that exists within the Cardano community. Ultimately, this whole analysis isn't meant to be a takedown of SNEK. The core of the debate really boils down to the simple, practical question. Forget the hype for a second. Can the team realistically generate enough revenue to repay a $5 million ADA loan? All right, for our final section, we're going to bridge the gap between all this digital activity and the physical world we live in. A new product from Emergo is aiming to put the power of the entire Cardano ecosystem right into your pocket. So, meet the Cardano Card. The tagline really says it all. This isn't just about launching another crypto debit card. Nope. This is about building a full-blown financial tool that's deeply, fundamentally integrated with the Cardano network. So, what can you actually do with it right now? Well, you can use it pretty much anywhere in the world, and you can spend a whole bunch of different assets directly from your wallet. We're talking ADA, Bitcoin, Solana, and major stablecoins like USDC and USDT. It's basically a direct plug from your digital assets to real-world stores. And here's the part that makes it truly unique. A piece of the profits generated from the card is actually intended to be reinvested directly into the Cardano Treasury. What that means is, every time you use the card, you're not just buying something, you're actively helping to fund the future development and growth of the entire ecosystem. It's a pretty cool feedback loop. And the roadmap shows this is just the beginning. The plan is to transform this thing from a simple payment tool into a full-on DeFi powerhouse. Soon, you'll be able to stake your ADA and even borrow stablecoins directly from the card, essentially turning your wallet into your own personal bank. And when you start adding in features like on-chain rewards, exclusive airdrops, and getting yield from tokenized real-world assets, well, it stops being a tool for just spending and becomes a tool for actually growing your wealth on Cardano. So as we've seen, Cardano is really pushing forward on all fronts. You've got these immersive gaming worlds, a DeFi sector that's clearly maturing, and now a powerful new bridge to real-world spending. It kind of leaves us with one big final question to think about. Which one of these different paths, gaming, finance, or real-world utility, is going to be the key that brings the next million users into the ecosystem?